Dr. Smith, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure to join you this morning to officially open the African Livestock International Conference, an exhibition themed towards a competitive and sustainable world-class sector. The theme embodies what we as a country plan to realize in the agriculture and livestock sector, that is farming as a business which involves competitiveness, sustainability, increase in regional and global trade. The agriculture sector in Kenya is a fundamental part of the economy, contributing to 25% of the total GDP and an additional 27% indirectly, and provides employment to over 40% of the total population. The livestock sector in Kenya is large and complex, as it involves both public and private sector players. Indeed, the livestock sector is one of the key pillars of the Kenya economy. However, recent trends point towards a clutch of disturbing scenarios that need urgent measures. Although agriculture is the mainstay of many African economies, the challenges facing it are many and demand urgent action plans. Currently, agriculture sector and indeed the livestock subsector is facing many challenges and threats ranging from climate change, production constraints, and lack of accessible product markets, which have adversely affected the sector's productivity and the country's economic growth. Although these constraints are not unique to Kenya and Africa, they provide us with an opportunity to come up with urgent solutions that will allow our farmers and livestock keepers play their rightful roles in economic growth. This calls for strategic and focused efforts, since a vibrant agricultural sector translates into the good performance of the entire economy. Kenya's Vision 2030, which was adopted 5 years ago, is the blueprint for economic development in the country. This is the roadmap for Kenya's economic and social development in the next 2 decades. It aims at transforming Kenya into an industrialized, middle-income country, providing high quality of life to all its citizens in a clean and secure environment. To achieve this, the Jubilee Manifesto and of 2013, 2017 and beyond will ensure that all farmers, no matter how small their farms are, make a decent income and are able to meet their basic needs. Ladies and gentlemen, the government has undertaken to continue implementing this vision and the manifesto because we believe that it provides Kenya with a springboard and indeed the right foundation for the country's economic growth. This can only be achieved through the transformation of the common subsistence agricultural productivity to a more innovative, commercially oriented, using modern technology. The setting of the Vision 2030 was followed by a revision of the strategy for revitalizing agriculture. This revision led to development of the agriculture sector development strategy 2010-2020 that foresees a food secure and prosperous nation by 2020 and aims to achieve the much needed shift from subsistence farming to the agribusiness system, ensuring that many more Kenyans are not only able but are also interested in agriculture as a business. This policy, which our government is very committed to implementing, include supporting platforms such as ALICE and other similar initiatives which share the same goals and vision of playing a significant role in ensuring that agriculture production increases beyond current levels. We also expect avenues such as ALICE 2013 to trigger increased agricultural productivity, commercialization, and competitiveness of all agricultural activities that include livestock production. Ladies and gentlemen, to alleviate the effects of the challenges in the sector, the government has developed and is now systematically applying strategies that promise to elevate it. We have put in place legal and policy framework to create an enabling environment so that both local and international players can enjoy doing business in the country. These are geared towards improving governance, structures in agricultural institutions, promote sustainable land and natural resource management, increase market access and trade, promoting private sector participation in all aspects of agricultural development, and improving delivery of agricultural service and research. The above has been driven by a realization that Kenya has one of the most informed and indeed very skillful, young, energetic, and innovative workforce. Recent trends indicate that this population is quickly translating into a knowledgeable and an aspirational middle class with high expectations. I am, however, convinced that we are taking the right steps to make sure that this population is well fed, while at the same time it's encouraged to venture into farming. We are hosting ALICE 2013, a forum strategically born out of the need to mitigate the issues of livestock production. ALICE 2013 is expected to facilitate the interaction of the sector players with updated information, data reviews, and new technologies. A key expectation of this forum is to build lasting business partnerships that will increase regional production and position Kenya and in general Africa as key source of agri-based food production. Ladies and gentlemen, in the current budget, a total of 39 billion was allocated to address famine and turn around agriculture and driven by the government's commitment to make the country food secure, support increased productivity, make access and innovation. We are moving from rain-fed irrigated agriculture to irrigated agriculture. We are going to expand existing irrigation schemes and open up new ones. In the next 4 years, the government intends to irrigate 1 million acres, reclaim land resources affected by erosion, and increase technology access in food production. In addition, the government has set aside 2 billion shillings to put into a fund to eliminate the risks associated with loans issued out to farmers by commercial banks. The fund is expected to increase to 20 billion shillings within the next 4 years. To also support business growth, the government intends to build 50 markets that will link 90 producer groups. We are also working to increase fish productivity as a very viable income-generating activity in the sector by increasing the number of fingerlings supplied to farmers, restoring fishery stocks and habitats, establishing recreational marine parks, cold chain facilities, and fish auction centers across the country. These should further diversify the country sources of fish from traditional to more modern, sustainable, and scalable sources. With regards to the livestock sector, the government has set a target of 61 million livestock to be vaccinated against foot and mouth diseases and other trade-sensitive diseases. Our plan is to ensure that the sector achieves a 4% reduction in pest-related infections as we seek to benchmark the livestock subsector with international standards. The government will also allocate funds to assist 630 livestock farmers to access artificial insemination services and to construct 21 medium-sized abattoirs and support 260 farmers, each with milk value addition facilities. Finally, as I conclude, I would like to bring to your attention the fact that Africa is currently facing enormous obstacles in its effort to deliver in the growth and development of its economies as measured in human development. The continent has, however, overcome many of these obstacles, as majority of the countries in the region are now enjoying improved governance and democratization, which up to recently were considered impediments to development. We are now seeing signs of modest economic growth in many countries, but poverty remains rampant, and there are still many large pockets of vulnerable populations who suffer one calamity after another in the form of famine, floods, disease epidemics, and displacement due to war. These are bottlenecks in the fight against poverty and include poor infrastructure, low levels of innovation, and value addition in the primary agricultural commodities and lack of market access, among others. This is why the government is open and welcomes partnership in both government to government or public and private sector that promotes the growth of our economy in all the sectors. As I conclude, I would like to thank and congratulate the organizers of this very strategic and well-thought platform. I'm encouraged to see that there is increased proactivity and initiative from industry experts, policymakers, government, and organizational representatives. Researchers and business executives gather here to contribute innovatively to the growth of agriculture and more specifically livestock sector and to the country's economy as a whole. I must say that that is commendable and hope that the discussions held and networks established will see the beginning of a new competitive, sustainable, and vibrant livestock sector in this country and beyond. I would like to add that the government main agenda in this sector is to ensure that this country is secure in as far as food is concerned. And we are very clear in our minds on the areas that we need to focus on, which has been critical, and we have realized that it has been neglected for a long time, is for 50 years we've been only relying on rain-fed agriculture. And it has failed us miserably to the extent now Kenya is still categorized as a country that has protracted hunger. And we have great potential. We have about 3 million acres to 5 million acres in ASAL areas that have great potential for irrigation. And government has taken a deliberate move to embark on a project to irrigate 1 million acres in 4 years. We have already started, and 3 weeks ago we have tendered for consultancy services to not only do land use planning, but also to have a feasibility study on how we can make sure all agricultural sectors are catered for, right from crops, fisheries, and livestock. We are planning to ensure that livestock is now taken into consideration because it has been a forgotten industry, and yet it is a very critical economic activity in 70% of this country. So we are moving to irrigation, and number two, we are also going to focus much on research to ensure that we employ technologies that are current. We get breeds that can give us maximum returns in as far as our economy is concerned. We are also going to ensure that our farmers have information in terms of training, in terms of empowerment, and that is an area where we are very happy that as you gather here, ideas are generated, information is passed, and thereby our farmers, both livestock and crops farmers, are going to benefit from. We are also planning to focus, and you must agree with me, that the youth has been forgotten in this sector. Right from even the advertisements where you can see the kind of caricatures they do. They draw always older people, to the extent now that the youth think that farming is for the old people. And the statistics tells us that the average age of a farmer in Kenya is about 60 years, 60 to 65. We are saying we need to turn around agriculture into a .com agriculture, where the approach of farming, whatever is used, the implements, and any other thing that the youth enjoys to be associated with will be employed in farming, so that we harness this resource. People who still have energy, people who still are ready, receptive to new ideas, so that they can move very fast and turn around this economy in as far as agriculture is concerned. Women, again, we are focusing on them. We want to ensure that access to credit is made cheaper and easier for them, so that they can play their part, because we know women is a dependable and a bedrock of any family. We know if we support women in agriculture, we know we'll have supported the family and by extension the nation. So those two categories of our population are at the center stage of the government focus in every sector. Finally, the promises that the government has given to the people of Kenya were not promises for winning election. They are promises to be executed. And the government, right from the head of state or president, has made it clearly that we are going to move and implement what we promised Kenyans. And as Minister for Agriculture, I promise you that anything that is within agriculture that will transform agriculture in terms of crops, livestock, and fisheries will have to be done, so that in 5 years' time, we shall be, if not equivalent or shoulder to shoulder with other economies that have developed, we shall be next to them. We shall be breathing on their necks. Thank you very much. And let me declare this conference officially open. Yes. And I wish you the best of luck. I don't have time to stay with you because I'm rushing again to another livestock meeting in the showground. And I wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much.
I'd like to invite a representative from New KCC, the board of director of New KCC, to receive that appreciation plaque on behalf of New KCC. I'd like to invite Dr. Peter Jeffries to receive the appreciation plaque on behalf of government. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite a representative from Unga Limited to receive on behalf of Unga Limited the appreciation plaque. The next appreciation plaque is being presented by Professor Ahmed, the director of AU IBA, to receive on behalf of AU IBA. Last and not least, the last appreciation plaque is being presented to International Livestock Research Institute. And I would like to humbly invite Dr. Jimmy Smith on behalf of IRIDI to receive the appreciation plaque. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite all of you to join the Honorable Minister for a tour, for an official tour of the exhibition.
Minister, in not next week, but the following week.
Stacy and Gladys, if you can briefly tell them
So we do a lot of the farm support initiatives to make sure that the farmers get the best in terms of partnership. Yes, we do a lot of quality control in terms of processing, so that we make sure our products are of the highest international standards.
You also do what? Milkshakes?
Yes, our quality range of products is, we have about 15 brands and over 100 plus variants.
Yes. And we have quite a lot of
Is it cholesterol free?
Yes, cholesterol free.
one of the products you produce. Good, thank you.
Once you open it, you can consume it immediately. Yeah. We also have the byproducts, the meat and bone meal. The jewelry. Most companies buy
to Sangoma in West Africa.
Chinese buy
The Juju man.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You bring it at the item.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, we are the meat manufacturers. So, poultry, we have a lot of nutritional products and veterinary for all large animals, small animals. Lot of healthcare products. Our company is mainly connected to healthcare division. Produce a lot of antibiotics.
You are in India?
Yeah. It's a top 10 in India. Okay. We have operations in 25 countries.
So you have a base here?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Very fine. This is Promaco Limited. We deal in dairy and food ingredients as well as dairy equipment. What we are dealing in dairy, we are doing the cultures. If you think of yogurt, as well as cheese, the cultures we put in, the colors we put in, the flavors.
Promaco?
Yeah, from Promaco.
Are you in Karen or what?
Yes, we do. We are in Karen.
You've seen it.
In the agricultural budget, the MP said that they would look at reviving those institutions that are
The plans that we have for livestock. We have grant plans. Number one, we have focusing on production, where for a long time it has been a problem. We have set funds there for issues of improvement of breeds, for artificial insemination, and for ensuring that we reach farmers in terms of capacity building, in how to handle animals and to make sure that they are kept well so that the production will go up. We are also looking at disease control, where even here I've said clearly that we are focusing on vaccinating about 61 million animals. This is basically an area where we are focusing on so that these animals are healthy and the production will go up. We are also looking at food chain, the whole of food chain. We want to look at the issue of marketing issue. We are every county, we are ensuring that they have slaughterhouses, abattoirs for the local markets. We are revamping KMC to ensure that it's operational so that from the farmer to the market, it will be smooth on the way. We are also talking to our markets outside the country, the Middle East, EU, to ensure that they take our beef and mutton and all the products that we have. So we have very clear plans. We are also trying to come up with an livestock insurance policy to cushion farmers from adverse effects. We are also establishing what we call livestock stocking fund, so that we mitigate against the challenges whenever there are problems. We can assist the farmers in stocking their stock, their herds, and at the same time ensuring that we buy when it's like now, we buy from them so that they get their livelihoods in a way that other Kenyans are getting. So we have plans.
How much of the budget has been allocated to livestock specifically?
Livestock is how much? 5 billion. 5 billion.
So my question.
Your question is about we are turning around institutions that are critical to this sector. You've seen we have worked on KFC, we have worked on bilateral board, we are working on coconut, we are working on coconut, we are working on cotton, we are working on sisal and maize. We are tackling the issue of maize disease. So money 40 billion is including all those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vaccines, for medicines, and for ways to diagnose illness in animals, so in livestock. So a good example of that is East Coast fever, ECF, in cattle. So with ECF, there's a vaccine that you can give to cattle, and if you give them that vaccine, they're protected for life. So you never have to worry about treating the animal. You don't have to spend money on treatment. You can treat them you can give them the vaccine, and then they're protected. So it's a way that the farmer can prevent his animals dying. It's a way that the farmer can make sure that he has continuous milk production or beef production without worrying about disease like East Coast fever. You can give it to young calves, and we would say those calves are normally around 3 months of age. So 3 months of age. So the first thing you would do is vaccinate all the adult animals, and then they're done for life. So then only every year do you have to do the calves. So year on year, then you just vaccinate the young stock, and you do them from 3 months of age, and you need to get them together. So you need to get, say, 40 of your calves together, and you give them a vaccine, and they're done. So it's a vaccine that the farmer would pay money for that vaccine, but then once he's paid, he will never again have to treat the animal, which is what really costs money. Plus there will be no death, and the death is what really affects the farmer. Exactly.
So here you can see the products. Here you have the vaccination program.
That's right.
At the back you have a program. When you do vaccination, when you give the beta cogs, big sign,
Yeah.
and then here you can do all your calculation, and here you can do your profit and loss.
Correct.
So you have a profitable business.
Very good.
Akizaa ama wakati anaanza kukamuliwa, sasa kuna ingine tunampatia inaitwa afya bora maziwa tele. Sasa hii ndio inamwezesha anatoa maziwa kwa wingi. Akitoa maziwa zaidi ya lita 10 ama lita 15, kuna yenye tunaita afya bora maziwa tele. Ya sasa ni hii. So hii afya bora ya maziwa na afya bora maziwa tele ndio pia chumvi ya joto kwa ng'ombe ambaye anakamuliwa. Wakati atashika joto na aanze achishwe maziwa, ukingojea azae tena, kuna yenye tunaita afya bora dry cow. So anaanza mawe, anaanza dairy leak, anaenda afya bora maziwa ama afya bora maziwa tele. Wakati unamwachisha kumkamua, ukingojea azae tena, ndio unampatia afya bora dry cow.
These are synthetic pyrethroids from Unga Farm Care, East Africa. It is used to eradicate stubborn flies, sassafly, even fleas, and ticks to a larger extent. So in case your animal has a problem with the tiny ectoparasites, this is what you use. The dosage, as I said, is 1 ml of this product into 1 liter of water.
The poultry demand for poultry between now and 2030 will be about 200%. And so the story goes for milk about over 100%, for pork about 150%, and beef for 150%, all in Africa here. And if you look at these figures around the world, you can see that there is a rapid growth in consumption, in demand for livestock products. In Africa, the unfortunate thing is that much of the increasing demand to feed this consumption is being met by imports. The opportunity cost of this foreign exchange is quite high, of course. And it stands to be argued, why are we importing so much livestock source foods, importing commodities that we can produce well in Africa? And why not use this foreign exchange to import things which we cannot produce in Africa? But the story is that